just coming up to 9 a.m. here in Southeast Australia, my home base. What a beautiful day it is. Late summer. Interesting time in the markets too, as we're just winding down to start time here at 9 o'clock with all the geopolitical things going on around the world, causing the markets to be quite jumpy, quite volatile. So not a bad time to be a trader. We like volatile markets. That's when there's opportunities for trading more often than not. So I hope everyone's well. I hope you're having a fantastic week. Let's get ready to kick the show off today. A very, very interesting subject across most domains of life, right? The need to be right versus the need to be effective. Which one do you prefer, being right or being effective? Seems like an obvious question, right? Yeah, of course we want to be right. Okay. That's just natural. That's how we live our lives. But is being right the most effective mindset for success in any endeavor, but particularly as it applies to trading? It reminds me of the truism, that whilst market gyrations come and go and changes in technology come and go, one thing's for certain, and that is that human nature never changes and never will. And as we know, markets are a mass representation of human nature, which is why we love trading so much. So let's have a look at today's show. I'll be diving deeper into one of the big paradoxes of trading. And I think this applies, as I said, to peak performance across many domains of life. But in trading, it's especially important. And that is that mindset shift that we really need to make to be successful at trading. And that's from being right to being effective. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. I've got my notes in front of me here to keep me on track. I do like to contain the essence of each episode into a short, snappy 10, 12, 15 minutes. So I do generally have my notes in front of me to follow, stay on track to make sure that the message and the learning in this episode is crystal clear. So I have a question for you, and this is regarding trading, as I put in my post promoting this show. Do you want to be right or do you want to be effective? And I want you to think about that for a moment, okay? I want you to go, what does Ash mean by do I want to be right? Of course I want to be right. Of course I want to win. Of course I want to be able to make predictions about what's going to happen. But what if your desire to be right gets in the way of being effective? And not being effective, what happens is you no longer perform well and you're no longer having the edge that you need psychologically to drive your method edge. What if that's happening? Okay. So the truth is that this is where the vast majority of traders get stuck, right here. They want to be right and they're resistant to anything that tells them that they may not be right. Just have a think about that. That is deeply embedded human nature. They're resistant to anything that tells them they may not be right. They want to be a winner. They want to be focused. And of course they want all that. But in doing that, they become really insular, really closed in to that tunnel vision. And they can't see that it's not about winning and losing that's so important. It's about the effectiveness of performance. Do you want to be right? Do you want to be effective? And ultimately, this is really a game where you have to give up the illusion of control over outcome. It's not there. People who say, I want to be able to win 70, 80% of my trades. When you look at them, they're not making any money. They're making their brokers wealthy, but not them. And this is what we see in trading. I don't know whether you look at different trading forums, chat groups and so forth. There's a lot of talk about winning. There's a lot of talk about beating the market. There's a lot of talk about sort of almost influencing the market. That is impossible. The market does not care. The market will always do whatever it's going to do. So, the problem is it's not about winning. It's about performing. It's about knowing how to lose incredibly well, right? Now, I'm not saying to love your losses. I mean, if you love losses, I will happily give you all of my losses, but it's about knowing how to lose really, really well and knowing how to stay the course when things are going your way as well. It's just not about, I'm going to make it. It's not about things going against me. And it's not, a trade's not going against me, right? I want you to understand that a trade doesn't go against you. A trade's just doing what it's doing. The market just does what it does. You have no influence. The market doesn't know or understand or even acknowledge you. The market and a trade just does whatever it's going to do. Your job is to lose incredibly well, much like pulling back the bow to let the arrow go. Trading's about little loss, little loss, little loss, little loss, and boom, when the trade happens to go your way, or you happen to be on the right side of that trade, you let your profits run hard. So the truth is, it's about your job to perform, to maintain a mind that allows you to literally plan your trade and trade your plan. I mean, how many people do you know that go, yeah, I've got the plan and I'm supposed to, I know that I'm supposed to trade my plan, but I get into trouble and I get into the trade and things just start happening and I don't end up trading my plan. Well, the reason is that you're focused on outcome. You're focused on trying to be right rather than trying to focus on the one thing that you can truly control, the mind that you bring into the moment of performance. So interestingly, when I do seminars or courses or speaking engagements, I always ask a simple question. What are you thinking about while you're trading? So I ask you, friends, what do you think about when you're trading? Now, generally, 2/3 to 3/4 of all the people will say, I'm thinking about winning. All right? My view is, why would you be focused and thinking about something you can't control? Right? Why would you be thinking about winning or losing when you're trading? That is completely beyond your control. And yet, the majority of traders, that's what they think about. It's not like there's magic where you're going to think and train your subconscious to will the markets to land your way. That is never going to happen, friends. That's just new age mumbo jumbo, right? The markets don't care. The markets just do what they do. So what I'm saying is that you have your methodology, and if you've been studying trading for a while, that has an edge in the market if executed flawlessly. The problem is that the mindset that you bring is focused on winning. And friends, that's impossible. You do not control winning. You just control executing your method. And it's just, if you land on the right or wrong side of the trade, that's just the way it goes. That is what trading's about. That's what all experienced long-term traders who've survived and gone through this learning curve understand is you must be able to lose really, really well because you're going to be doing a lot of it, right? So mentally, we need to accept that, okay? Right? Now, so, it's impossible to be successful at trading if you're focusing on winning. You don't have the psychological edge you need to drive the method edge if you're thinking about winning. You need to be thinking about performing well, being effective. That's what we're talking about here. So ultimately, your self-preservation, survival instinct gets in the way of becoming a successful trader. And ultimately, you're going to need to redefine what winning and losing in trading is. Now, winning, as long as you want to control the outcome, predict the outcome, winning is going to be elusive to you. However, if you begin to look at it going, how well did I perform? How well did I maintain emotional sobriety? How well did I maintain emotional discipline and impartiality and maintain my trading mind all the way through this process? These are the questions you should be asking yourself. And what if you actually, check things off and say, yes, that's what winning is. Winning is about checking off my performance checklist, not winning or losing. Okay? It's not whether or not you won the trade or landed on the right side of probability or lost the trade landing on the wrong side of probability. It was probability in the first place, okay? It's just a guess. That's what trading is. You are making guesses. Some traders, technical analysts, are quite good at making guesses based on old trends. However, it is still just a guess. It is still just probability, okay? However, what was not probability was the mind that you brought into trading. Now, most people bring a mind that is going to fail them when they're trading because it is focused on winning and losing. Now, if you develop a mind about probability, what you're doing is you're saying, what I can control is the mind that I bring into the moment of performance. And now, friends, that is everything. That is the essence of successful trading, is focusing on what you can control, which is the mind you bring to the moment of performance. That applies to pretty much most things in life, but particularly in trading, it's everything. When you do that, you discover that the psychology lines up because you can control the mind you bring into the moment. You can control being effective. You can't control the outcome of a trade. You can't control winning. So you begin to say, well, how do I do that? So the first thing you do is, recognize that emotional ignorance just isn't going to work at all. You need to become emotionally literate. And when I say emotional ignorance, it's not about parking your emotions or ignoring them or pretending that they're not there. It's about becoming emotionally literate, emotionally intelligent, and recognizing, okay, I cannot have freedom from emotion. But what I can do, if I work at this, I can train my brain and my mind to have freedom of emotion. There's a difference, not freedom from emotion, freedom of emotion. I can't control the uncertainty that happens in trading. And uncertainty is linked directly to confusion, and confusion is linked directly to fight, flight. That's where all the problems are. However, that's our genetic predisposition. That's what we all bring, as part of our human nature. And what you can do, thank goodness, is that you can retrain your brain so that when it engages uncertainty, it no longer triggers to fight, flight. That's the key. It triggers to disciplined impartiality. It takes a lot of work. It really does. And that's why most people don't make it in trading, is they don't become aware of this, or they don't do the deep, hard work to retrain their brain. It takes retraining the way emotions, our emotional signature, is organized around uncertainty. And you start to develop a trading mind as opposed to a winning mind. And this can be done, friends. It really, really can be done. It's literally recognizing that I have to take responsibility for the mind that I bring into the moment. Now, I hope that fills you with a lot of confidence and empowerment that you actually control success in trading by controlling the mind that you bring to trading, not by finding some holy grail trading system that will just win on autopilot. That does not exist. So sitting here and trying to avoid having to be responsible for the mind saying, I need another toy, I need another tool, I need another skill, another teacher, another this, another that, that's not really where the problem is. The problem is you need to learn how to use emotions to create a mind that can perform in the midst of uncertainty and risk. And as I said, it can be done, friends. You can learn to regulate the emotions. You can learn to rebuild the emotions that are associated with uncertainty so that it doesn't trigger to fight, flight. And that's all that, I was thinking, what was I doing? That sort of feeling that we have sometimes after trading when we go, well, what the heck was I doing? What was I thinking? Why did I act so emotionally when I knew that if I just stuck with my system, it would work? What was I doing? But rather the mind, if you train it correctly, triggers to disciplined impartiality. You calm fear. You nurture that part of yourself. You soothe yourself rather than beat yourself up. Remember that. The ability to self-soothe is the mother of all emotional regulation rather than beat yourself up. and you acknowledge that there's a power struggle going on inside your head the moment you engage uncertainty. But of course, what you decide is, instead of ignoring that internal struggle, and I'm hoping this is what you decide, and trying to push it away, trying to silence it, you decide to turn towards it from a much stronger position. And you choose the emotional programs to engage that struggle, that create the mind that engages that struggle, of that thing that when ambiguity happens, instead of self-doubt, what you're going to have is, as a consequence, is what I would call humble confidence, okay? That you can perform in the moment. It's almost a martial arts mindset, that calmness, that self-possession, knowing that you built a mind that can perform in the pressure and ambiguity of uncertainty that is all-consuming in trading, okay? And you let go of winning or losing. Now, I hope that makes sense. And I really want to sort of push home that sort of martial arts mindset, that sort of Zen belief that I know I can perform in the pressure of uncertainty, that self-belief. That's what we're looking to train, okay? To be effective in uncertainty rather than trying to control winning and losing. If you want to learn more, as always, go to my website, go to the YouTube channel, Mindset Reflexology Show, and start rewatching and starting this video and other videos. Come and check out the programs. Come to the training webinar that you can access on my website that's associated with this. Learn what you're going to need to do if you really want to become a consistently profitable trader. Not one that talks the game, but one who walks the game. And that's an actual player, right? To be one of those 1, 2, 3% of traders that walk the walk, not just talk the talk. And be that one who has learned to mold the emotions that respond to uncertainty. Come and learn, my friends, come and learn. And remember, it's not just about trading either. For anybody watching this, even if you're not a trader, importantly, what you discover is that you're learning about how to maintain the mind that engages uncertainty. This is a very, very powerful life skill to have. And what you'll discover, that learning to control those emotions and to build that effective mindset impacts the rest of your life too. I find that a lot with traders that I work with, that as they master themselves and master emotions, not only does it impact their trading, it impacts every other aspect of life positively as well. So I hope you enjoyed this episode about the effective mindset versus the winning mindset. Come to the website, check out the YouTube channel. As always, have a fantastic day. Good times trading. Remember, be effective. That's what successful traders focus on, not thinking about winning. Have a great week, friends. Thanks for attending this show.